My good friend Luke.
Hi. As someone that watches a lot of CarTube? I'm going to call it CarTube. I don't know who these guys are.
I've never heard of them either. But I'm interested to see their car collection.
Where the value now of the whole collection is £100. But today we're going to do what a lot of you have been asking, and we're going to go through and rank the cars from my favourite.
And we're going to do what no one's asking and review it, because that's always fun and never goes badly.
Everyone wants to hear.
Everyone wants to hear my opinion and your opinion on people's cars that we don't know.
My least favourite. But first, we're going to look at each one and talk about what I like about them and what I dislike. We're going to do that in a very jumbled up order, so there's no point in you skipping through.
Yeah, we're going to disagree on purpose.
Range baiting. Yes.
Yeah, we don't do that.
This is the newest supercar in the collection. This is my 812 GTS. I believe it's a 2022 car. I got it second hand.
Yeah, I know. It's a convertible, so you don't like it. I like it.
Any other thoughts?
I don't like the colour.
You don't like red Ferraris?
It's orange.
Is it orange or was pretty sure
it's a very well spec'd car. It's in Rosso Scuderia, which is like the orangey red colour. This is the first Ferrari I've owned. Of course, it's a front engine V12.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the colour.
That configuration, lovely. It's when the top bit disappears and goes back in.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, not one of my favourite Ferraris. It's a little teardroppy.
My favourite front engine 812 Ferraris.
Okay.
This is the thing. The 812, like I say, it does look a bit like kind of rounded off, but the 812 is more aggressive.
Yeah.
But as far as Italian V12 sports cars go, I
really like this car. It's super comfortable while also
the back I don't like. The front's fine.
Oh, you don't like the back?
No. But usually I love it back.
Used to. I suppose I've driven too many GT cars. This feels like more of a comfortable cruiser, which I suppose it is because it's a GTS. I like it very much. I like it more in the summer where I can take the roof off. But actually in the winter, it's a fairly comfortable place to be as well. This car cost me about £360,000, which I think is around $400,000, maybe a little bit more. The plate you may enjoy. I certainly found it funny. Just FML. I'm going to rank this car here.
To be honest, I didn't get what he was on about until he said it out loud.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he owns 15 cars. I wonder what he does for a living, because...
Yeah, that would be nice to know.
Figure that one out.
No offense to this guy. I think it's not a YouTuber, because unless he has a second channel that's a lot bigger, 31,000 subscribers, I don't think he gets you a whole collection like that.
No, unless it's all rented, and then he's got a massive problem. But no, he could be a millionaire with just wanting to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's true.
That happens.
That'd be nice.
Quite a lot.
This is my GT4 RS. It's a 2022 GT4 RS.
I take this over the last one.
Really? This is a bit of you, though, because it is a Cayman. So you've got...
The colour, for me, is... I prefer this spec a lot more. The yellow calipers on the...
And blue tinted wheels as well.
Yeah, the blue tint, kind of with the grey body. I think it's fucking cool.
I mean, it's a batshit crazy thing from Porsche to take their GT engine, put it in the Cayman. But yeah, apart from the stats on the screen, and I think the waiting list of these things was massively long. I know, like, this thing came out the year before last, whole year to get a new one.
Really?
Actually, the first Porsche I spec'd from new. It's pretty much a launch spec car. It's got the blue wheels. It's got the Arctic grey. It's a Weissach. I really adore this car. I've had several GT3 RSs in the past, and this is effectively a mid-engine GT3 RS. 4 litre, 500 horsepower. Fantastic on a B road and on a windy track. Love this thing. It doesn't necessarily have too much sentimental value for me, but it is like the embodiment of some of the best things about Porsche. This car cost me around £145,000, which is, I think, probably like $170,000. So I'm going to rank this car here. This is my 2022 M5 CS. You may recognize this car. We've talked...
Weirdly enough, we were talking about BMWs yesterday, not this one in particular, but I was saying how I just don't get it. I don't get the BMW hype.
Well, I mean, M5, great heritage, like some like the E60 with the V10, when they're making the M5s like actual like half-fast saloons. Now they've just kind of like, this is a great example. Like CS is competition sport, but I mean, it's just they're doing it. It's like with Porsche and they're like the GT, the Cayenne GT. That's like a £150,000 SUV, or probably even more than that, for something that uses like basically marketing. Like CS is competition sport. You're not ever going to take that on track.
Yeah.
Well, you might, but I don't see why you would if you've got enough money to buy one of those. You've probably got enough money to buy a Porsche.
Yeah. This is the same argument with all these cars. So I think it's a pretty poor argument to even keep using. But it's pointless to have these high performance cars almost in the UK because you just can't use them to their fullest.
No, but if you did want something to go really quick to 70 miles an hour on the motorway,
yeah, then get a motorbike. No, but I get it. Like if you're in Europe or if you're in Germany or basically any other car that's not England, like you can just
enjoy.
You can enjoy the car to its fullest, but just not in the UK. So yeah.
About it before. This is one of Chris Harris's old cars. I love this thing.
That makes it slightly cooler. It's like Chris Harris.
It's Chris Harris.
Chris Harris was the old presenter of Top Gear.
Oh,
that's the midget one. It was Paddy.
The new ones.
Chris. Yeah, the new three of them.
Oh, I don't know. I've never watched the new one.
If Chris Harris owned it, it's slightly cooler. But
I guess.
Apart from that,
well, just make the value higher for no reason because you're getting the same car.
I hadn't driven it before I bought it, but I saw Chris raving about it. I've bought other things from him before. He said it was the best daily that he'd ever owned. I agree. It's so easy to drive fast and enjoy. It has bucket seats all the way around, rears included. It's 626 horsepower, thereabouts, I think. It's this 4.
Where do you reckon he's going to put this?
I'm going to say 8.
Really?
So I can see a 918 right next to it.
I think he's going to put it in either 5th or 7th, but
okay,
because he's
4V8, all-wheel drive, so you can enjoy it in all the weather. This is my daily, especially around wintertime. This car cost me about £110,000, which I think is around $130,000. If you want to see the full video we did on this just recently, it's pretty fun. You can click here. We went into detail on how we got it, why we got it, and where we've driven it. So this car goes here.
As you can see, I'm now a cake because Tom's kids have very kindly given me this to keep us going through this huge car collection tour that we're doing.
This is my 2015 Porsche.
So I don't know what Luke's actually doing.
What was Luke's purpose
I
there?
don't think Luke owns any of these cars.
Luke's just there for the vibes.
But we have stopped it on a great car. I'm going to let him just...
918 Spider. I mean, what can you say about this car? It's pretty freaking cool. It's a non-Visac car, although I have bought the Visac upgrade magnesium wheels.
What does that mean, Visac? Is that like a body shop thing that do like kits?
Well, it's Visac is like the track performance spec.
Right.
So like roll cages, bucket seats.
I got you.
The magnesium wheels, like lighter weight upgrades, better brakes, and I think some trim options. But I mean, Porsche's already crazy enough for the fact that it's like an M car, not really, but yeah.
Right.
Which are, I believe, like 90% of the weight savings of the Visac package. Obviously, it's wrapped in orange. It looks pretty cool. It's come out like kind of a Gulf orange.
I don't like the orange.
Oh, I like the orange. See, this colour orange I think is nicer than the Ferrari's Scuderia.
Interesting.
Red.
Because it gives me... I mean, obviously, this car came out way before, like, the Lotus Evija, basically Lotus Evija. It gives me that sort of, with the orange, it's like...
I get what you're saying.
It's just a bit leery and it's not very... Well,
it's not very Porsche.
Not very Porsche.
Yeah. Orange, I think it suits the car well, especially with the black highlighted bits. This was the ultimate car before the...
You're not going to like this. I don't like this.
You don't like this?
I don't like the car. I think it's ugly. I get the performance is amazing. I think that's an ugly car.
Not her.
There were more ultimate cars for me. This is the first hypercar that I owned. It's obviously a 4.7 litre V8 paired to electric motors. Produces just under 900 horsepower. It drives kind of like nothing else. It sounds incredible. It's super quick off the...
It's also one of the, there's three cars. There's the Ferrari LaFerrari, there's the McLaren P1, and there's the Porsche 918. It's like a holy trinity of hypercars. That's when hypercars came about. I'm
I'm
going to
sorry.
trying to sell you on it, but
Yeah.
The line.
Hold up. Firstly, license plate 918XX, pretty cool. I'll give them that. But I'll say it gives me the same vibes as the RX Spider. Are they air intakes behind the seat or what are they?
yes, vents for the car.
Not these ones.
Oh, that's
at the
fuel
back.
cap. Oh, that's a sport.
They both have them. No, Harry,
That's the exhaust pipe.
these.
Or the buttresses.
Yeah.
It's like where the seats are.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't know. It's a weirdly shaped car. In my opinion. I probably offended a lot of people.
Yeah, me included. Yeah.
Obviously a 4.7 litre V8 paired to electric motors, produces just under 900 horsepower. It drives kind of like nothing else. It sounds incredible.
Where do we think he's going to play, sir?
Well, this is going. If this isn't his top three,
I think he's putting in 4.
It's super quick off the line. And probably the quickest of the Holy Trinity. Certainly on track, the quickest of the Holy Trinity, because it's a Porsche. This is a pretty special thing to drive at any time, and I'm so glad that I bought it. I'm so shocked that even now that I had the opportunity to buy something like this. This car cost me a little over £1 million. Like it was around the £1,050,000. So I probably gained money on that. The values are going up. But that £1,050,000 is probably like $1.3 million. And today it's probably worth £1.3 million. So $1.5, $1.6 million. But I don't know if I'll ever sell it. I think I'm going to rank this car here. This is my 2012 997.2 Turbo S. This is a car of sentimental value to me because this is the car that my dad bought after a long, arduous career that he could finally afford a Porsche. So it meant a lot to him. It means a lot to me. When he got it, I was obsessed with it and I was desperate to drive it.
I guess if he's going to bring sentimental value into it, then I think it's probably number one then.
I don't think it's going to be number
No,
one either.
no.
Look, we're 5 minutes into the video. He's not going to give us the number one spot.
Yeah,
Click off.
yeah, he wouldn't.
I was, how old was I? 27 at the time when he got
Maybe.
10.
this. This was like kind of my first exposure to a sports supercar. These things are rapid, even by today's standards. They feel so good to drive. It feels small compared to modern 991, 992 Porsches. It's super comfortable, surprisingly, as well. And I will probably keep it forever because it does mean a lot to me. My dad decided he was going to sell it because he was getting too old to enjoy it. And I couldn't let him do that. He was going to trade it in on a Porsche Cayenne. Unacceptable. So it had to join the collection. Here it is, and here it'll stay. It cost me around £85,000, which I think is around 100.
His dad ripped him off. Just a head though. He got digged by his dad. That's a lot of money for that car. But okay. I'm sure it's low mileage. It's 2012 plate, so
$100,000. And I think I'm going to rank this car here. I also have two R34 Skylines in the collection. The No, which you'll have seen a few times, and the blue V-Spec, which is a little bit of a project car, and it's had a lot of work done on it. And it's
cool cars.
They're not me. They don't match my style.
Don't get me wrong. I would own one and buy one in a second. I just think there's a lot of hype with them, like this, the Supra, very sort of like overhyped, and they're
Quality.
they're Japanese sports cars, but for some reason people think they're the be all and end all just because they were in Fast and Furious. So like, very cool car. I'm sure it's I haven't driven one. I'm sure they're lovely to drive. I would want to own one, maybe 2001 because I was born in 2001. So they're quite cool, but yeah. Any thoughts on this?
Cars.
It's still getting work done on it right now. It's been fully restored. It's going to be immaculate when it gets back. It's going to be pretty powerful. So I think that you will...
That's another thing, these cars. People just overpower them. Like, they'll take the engine just because they can and put like 700, 800, 1,000 horsepower in them, which I think kind of ruins the car because then it becomes undrivable. But if you stick at like 500, 600 horsepower in something that's all-wheel drive, kind of like the new GTRs, I think that's like a good amount of power. Okay. But yeah.
Enjoy that. The No, you'll have seen, it's about 450 horsepower. It's obviously quite a special version of that car, one of the last Skylines V-Spec 2s to be built. It's a pretty sensational thing to drive. A lot of people would look at it and think, oh, what an old piece of crap, it must be worth like 20 grand. No.
Funny that.
It's probably worth now like over £250,000, over $300,000 because of how rare it is. I paid under $200,000, so I'm fairly pleased about that decision. That Noah, of course, is Millennium Jade. What a colour. I think I'm going to rank this car here. This is my 2023 X7 M60i. Why did I buy this? Well, I needed a 7-seater family car and I needed a
Can we skip this one?
Right.
I don't care.
I want to know where he places it.
tow bar, and this has both of those. It also has a 4.4 litre V8 straight from the M5 with, I think it's like 550 horsepower, which is just a little bit of added bonus for a car that is super comfortable, luxurious, easy to drive. It drives like an electric car, but you don't have the range problems. I love this thing. I got it with 4,000 miles on the clock. It cost £100,000. I also traded in a Ford Ranger on it, so it cost me even less. I think it's a bargain for what it does. So I'm going to rank this car here. Another car that we're missing today is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, the 2019 blue, gold, stupid loud thing that I bought a few years ago. That car is amazing. That is a way getting some work done with Lamborghini. I think we'll be getting that back maybe just before Christmas. Missed that car. Super loud, super stupid.
I just don't understand if he's got all these cars, right, how he drives them all. Like, he's probably got, like, we said 15 cars.
Yeah.
Like, some of them aren't just going to get driven.
Well, no, probably not.
Raucous. I love all those things about it. I think, you know, similar to the Koenigsegg, it really is a special thing to drive because of how crazy it is. What do I not like about that car? The fact that you can barely get your head in it. Even, I'm not that tall, I'm like 6'1"-ish.
That's quite a big guy.
I mean, yeah, but I think it's a height issue, right?
Yeah. He's leaning forward.
Yeah.
So.
I can barely get my head in it. If you get anybody in there over 6'3", they're in pain. The SVJ is actually the car that I met Luke through, and then he hasn't left me alone since. It's also my son's favourite car. That's why the plate is Bass SVJ. That has reference to the family. That car cost me a little under £400,000. I got it when the prices were down, so I think I've done quite well on that car. They've probably gone up by a good 20% by now. It's probably like $450,000, and as you know, they're worth a lot more than that now. And I think I'm going to rank this car here.
I wonder what he's going to... He's got me, because if it's cars like this on number 1 and 2...
This is my 2021 M2 CS. Is a previously owned Chris Harris car. This has the 3-litre S55 engine with about 450 horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive only. It's manual. It's on Bilstein coilovers. It has an Akrapovic exhaust, all set up by the good folk at Litchfield. It handles amazingly well. Luke drives this all the time, really enjoys it. It's one of my...
I'm jealous of Luke, if anything. Luke seems to got himself a pretty good
Luke's
deal.
got himself. Luke's got life sorted. Luke's just friends with this guy. And
Luke was like, I need to be this guy's best friend.
yeah.
Oh.
They're all great, but this is one of my favourite cars in the collection. Just so well set up.
Once, if you can see this video, you can see a Little Tykes car in the background.
Oh, that's probably number
That's
one.
probably number 1.
Yeah.
That dude has got a red and yellow Little Tykes push car. So,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, we know what number 1's going to be now.
And enjoyable on a B road and on track. This cost me around £80,000, which I think is around $95,000. So I'm going to rank this car here. Another car that's missing is my black GT2 RS, my 2018 car. That's my favourite Porsche. It is such a sick car. It's the car I bought when I started this.
Man 10 as well, just like a Porsche tuning house.
Yeah.
So that's got some serious work done to it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think, well, that's got to be under 10, so whatever slot isn't in 1 or 2, it's under 10. I think maybe 6.
I think he might, again,
Or
this
he could
could,
bid 2.
escapade into stupidity with all these supercars. It's a sensational 3.8 litre, 700 horsepower rear wheel drive track animal. You'll have seen me 0.8 litre, 700 horsepower rear wheel drive.
That's the top speed. It's like an aero wheel. It's like a clip-on cover. So it made you go quicker.
Never seen that before.
Track animal. You'll have seen me rave about it before. You probably saw me and Chris Harris raving about it. I've got a 2RS and I absolutely love it.
That's the car.
In a previous video, which you can click here for. I bought that car as a standard car, and of course I've had the full Manthey racing kit put on it, which makes it even crazier on track and on B roads. I bought that car for £345,000. It's probably worth around the same now, I would say. That's around $400,000. But then, of course, I've spent about £90,000 or $100,000 on the Manthey upgrade. Money.
The
Stock
395, yeah.
and did a full kit on it, and it's all the same price. Yeah, he's lost money on it.
I just want to know what he does for a living.
Well spent in my opinion, but you may disagree. So this car goes here.
I mean, odd choice when you got a 918 sitting next in the same, like... I don't have enough money yet to own any of these cars.
I'd also probably take this one over the 918, just based off looks and...
This is my 2011 BMW 1M. This has a 3 litre, I believe it's an N54 engine with around 330 horsepower. This was obviously the beginning of BMW moving back into small M cars, which was where the M2 came in. I loved this car growing up. I always thought it was super cool. Never had the money to grab one. Finally had the opportunity and wanted to add it to the growing BMW collection to show the kind of lineage of these cool M cars. So you may have seen that this car has been on CarWow, as several of these have been. I bought this specifically to do a CarWow race, but I was planning on buying one anyway. So it was.
That's such a flex. I bought a car to be in a car race. Like,
That's cool.
fair play. And so Jeremy Clarkson famously turned one, or maybe he drove one of these on Top Gear episode, and it was like a personal memories, great episode. But yeah, like M3 engine maybe it's not an M3 engine. I'm not too sure. To be honest, I think someone put a V8 in this and they covered it, but
Okay.
Worked out well. You can click here to take a look at that video. Luke and Scott drove both of these cars down for that event. It was pretty awesome. I like the smaller M cars, although I also do really love the M5 CS. I think rear-wheel drive, small, nimble BMWs are super cool. It was a good buy. I think they're a good investment. They're fairly rare things. I think it's 450 of them. This car cost me around £60,000, which I think is about $75,000. So I'm going to rank this car here. Now, you may notice that we're missing quite a few cars here today. That's because loads of them are away on service. Some are being stored elsewhere. The big one that...
Such a problem. God, imagine having that... all my cars aren't in one place at one time.
I'd be kind of pissed off if my number 2 car was away. As in, at least have the top 5.
You'll be missing is the Koenigsegg Agera RST, of course. That is down getting a service. It will be back, hopefully, in the next few weeks, but we can't really drive it at the moment anyway. Even if it was dry enough, there's so much salt on the roads. We're not going to expose that beauty.
Don't hurt me. I don't like the wing mirrors on these cars. It's the same.
Why would I hurt you for that? That's not...
It's the same as is it the LaFerrari or something?
Yeah.
They have those little teardrop, like leaf-shaped wing mirrors that stick out on fucking very thin. Not a huge fan.
I mean, he doesn't want to get salt on it, but if he's got this car, it's probably PPF'd, and also the car is made out of carbon fibre, so it's not going to really affect the car. It might affect the underpinnings quite a bit, but if you've got the money to drive one of these, you just get it jet washed after you drive it. Like, you just get it serviced and make sure it's fine, but a couple £1 million, so
this.
Yeah, I think it's like a couple mil at least.
I guess he's probably going to tell us.
To that much salt. My favourite thing about the Agera is, of course, the performance. Nothing feels like a Koenigsegg to drive. It's like the most...
And nothing feels like a Porsche 918.
How do you know?
Because he said so.
Oh.
Special, crazy thing to be driving around in. My least favourite thing is the sound system. The sound system is pretty terrible, which may seem like, oh, why do you care about that when you've got a 5-litre V8 behind you, twin turbo? And to that I say, you're all right, but for some reason I like to have a good sound system even in my stupid hypercars. We've done a lot with the Koenigsegg throughout the year since collecting it from Super Vettura, which was back in March, including going to plenty of events as you look in. And I'm sure you've seen that. If not, go check that video out. That's a pretty crazy thing to witness. Now, of course, you've seen that we had that car converted from its previous state of RSN to RST, so T for Tom. That's a pretty special thing. That brings the car a lot of sentimental value to me, and I don't know when or how I could part with it, but who knows. And that car was, of course, 3.5.
If and when we had this much money, I'm not going to put my initials on the car. You?
Yeah.
Call the RSA. Royal Sun Alliance. What a car.
Yeah, my name, it's just going to be...
It's everywhere.
Alex.
Just Alex.
AB.
£500,000. You've probably seen that on CarWow. That's like over $4 million. When you think about what that car is and what it can do, I'd say that is good value. As stupid as that seems. So I'm going to rank this car here. There's been 3 significant cars that have left the collection during 2023. Those are the AMG GT Black Series.
It's sad
that they've left.
It just seems a bit sad.
McLaren 765 LT.
What did he get? Why did he get rid of that?
He sold them.
He got rid of it.
Sorry, I thought they were in the shop. Yeah.
I mean, you probably got rid of that for reliability issues, but that's
That Mercedes is fucking nice.
GT, yeah.
There's been 3 significant cars that have left the collection during 2023. Those are the AMG GT
Yeah, it's a Black Series.
That's fucking cool.
It is cool.
That's fucking cool.
Black Series, the McLaren 765 LT Spider, and, of course, the beloved Yaris.
That's fucking cool.
That's
That's cool because we can maybe afford that.
attainable.
What did I like about each of those? The AMG, it was rapid. It was fairly comfortable. What did I dislike? It just didn't really live up to the GT cars, the Porsche cars. It sounded really poor.
You can compare it to GT because that's the class of car, but you can't compare a front engine like V8 car to a rear engine Porsche. Like, it's not the same thing, but I can't afford it, so I can't compare.
Which was quite shocking, and it was still a little bit boaty. I didn't find that it was predictable in how it would move, especially in wet weather.
Sorry, I'm keep going. Like, Black Series cars are notoriously unpredictable.
Oh, really?
Things they're just huge horsepower in Mercedes in just a regular sedan or a coupe for that.
Yeah.
So it's the whole point of the Black Series is you can't really, it's the unobtainable power. But
So, yeah, wasn't that keen. So the AMG Black Series cost me £360,000, which I think is around $420,000. I think I'm going to rank this car here. 765 LT, incredible car. Has the McLaren issues, but still an incredible car. Why did I get rid of that?
If anyone has one watching this, wants to let me drive or be in it around a track, I'd take your offer up on it.
Yeah, I'll come and watch. I'm not interested.
That's what did I not like? Of course, I didn't like when it would break. I didn't like when it would lock me inside the car occasionally. But as a car, it was still such an incredible experience to drive that thing. And the only reason I really got rid of it was because the values were dipping quite hard. So I made the choice. I will probably rebuy one at some point because I really do like those things. The 765 LT cost me around £360,000, which is also around $420,000. I'm going to rank this car here. The Yaris. Why did I get rid of that car? I got rid of it because it was going to be sat outside all winter not being driven because the M5 and the X7 were ticking all the boxes of the Yaris. The Yaris would just not get driven, which made me sad. We're doing a lot of refurbishment on the barn at the moment, so it would literally be sat outside. I can't do that to a car. I think in the future I'll rebuy one because they are one of the best, if not the best, little hot.
or he sells one of his 8,000 BMWs and just drives the Yaris.
And you can buy like 3 Yaris.
You can buy 3 Yaris. You can have Yaris.
Badge that has ever existed, in my opinion. The GR Yaris cost me about £36,000, which is around $42,000. So this car goes here. Now, because I'm freezing to death, hence the lovely gloves, Luke's going to whip around and tell you what he thinks about all the cars.
The GT4 RS, because 1, the size, and 2, the sound.
Do we need to go through his opinions of the cars?
No. Hang on, so... Wait, is that what he's going to do? Oh, collection thoughts. No offense, Luke, but... Your opinion's invalid, you don't own these cars. That's like our opinions. Invalid, we don't own these cars. But they are still our opinions.
Yeah,
The
Leave the hate in the comments down below.
Lamborghini Aventador SV, can't get rid of that one.
I said over £9 million, which is ridiculous. I really need to get my life in order.
So, popping up on the screen, you can see the order and ranking list of the cars in the collection from favourite to least favourite. And the least favourite...
Well, you're upset about the 918.
Yeah. Personally, I mean, I didn't know he had Nagara, so fair play. But what did he put number 1 again? The Porsche?
Yeah. The Porsche GT2.
Oh, MR. Yeah. Okay, well...
Doesn't mean that they aren't liked, it's just where they came up on the list. So yeah, do you agree with this order? Would you change it? Let us know in the comments below. And
So, past number 10, I completely agree. But maybe I would put the BMW X7 at the bottom. Because it's pointless.
I'd change. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
It's exhausting. See how much money we don't have.
I'd probably, I don't know, I'd change it quite a bit. I need to write it all down and plan.
We'll redo the order here, or we won't.
Reshuffle.
so yeah, do you agree with this order? Would you change it? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see how you would rank the cars.
So you may have noticed we haven't included any of the upcoming or brand new cars to this collection video, but we are going to be doing lots of updated collection videos over the year and beyond. Probably every 6 months we'll revisit this kind of situation. We'll show you what's here. Let us know what you think of the
So there should be another one.
car choices as we keep going. And thank you for staying tuned and watching and commenting. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for watching.
And commenting.
I really appreciate it.
Don't forget to leave your 15 cars down below.
Do you agree with his list?
I don't agree
I
with this at
don't
all.
agree with his list.